12 faculties make up this university community, but the management has taken the institution far beyond those and had added several non-faculty structures that has enhanced the status of the school.
For every structure that happens on this campus, we have in-house consultants from the different angles, the quantity surveyors, the architects, the civil engineers, the mechanical engineers, the structural engineers. All of them are people in-house of the University of Lagos. And when we have such projects, they operate under the University of Lagos consultancy services. So this is something, as you have said, all of those buildings that you see on campus, all the developments that are ongoing, have the Director of Works and Physical Planning, and then the lecturers from the various departments that are in the relevant areas that are doing the consultancy on this project. So you could say in that regard that we are like a self-sufficient community in terms of what we do. I mean, we also have small areas of engagement like producing UNILAG bread and UNILAG water, and at some point UNILAG soap, all of that. But those are like the small basic things that just keep the system rolling.
The work that I've been doing is in housing. Now, we have a real problem of housing development in the country. If the solution is not coming out of Lagos, you can be rest assured it's not going to come out of anywhere else. So Lagos is so central and so important. The city itself being so central, so important, it means that if serious work is being done within the universities, it would be work that would impact the nation. If you have to have a city, you have to have infrastructure. Infrastructure is expensive, okay? So you can't be building roads and pipelines and all that, okay? That should service 100,000 people, and it only services 100 people. So you must go up. So you have to develop the technology to go up. And then you have to aggregate the housing. Each person cannot be building his own. You simply must aggregate the housing and build up. It's really just that simple. But you must build up and find means by which you can build up
Sustainably.
Yeah, sustainably.
In the case where the larger society has gone so chaotic that it's almost lost its essence of what constitutes a community, Professor Ademola Omojala, a professor of geography with special interest in geoinformatics, brings us back home using the UNILAG model as an example.
Because remote sensing is just the art and science of getting information about an environment without really getting physically in contact with that environment. And vis-a-vis, there are a lot of things that requires a lot of remotely sensed data in the country. It's like when you want to manage any resource at all, you need an inventory of that resource. And remote sensing is a key driver, or is a key tool in making that kind of inventory feasible for the consumption of both the society and policymakers. It's the use of from aerial photography to satellite imageries and so on and so forth, so that you can have a bird's eye view of what is in the environment and where they are, like in the local government and just anywhere you want to know what is where are the roads, where are the building properties, or where are the properties, where are the buildings, how are they aligned, what are the relationship with other infrastructure around. And geographic information system, on the other hand, is using computers to do the digital mapping, accompanying products that could be generated from remotely sensed data, so that you can make informed decisions, unlike what we do now, so that we can make decisions about the spatial organization, because many of the things we do in life has its roots in space. So in our spatial organization, our spatial dimensions, how we relate with each other, you want to move from A to B, you want to put something here, the facilities, where is it supposed to be sited to optimize its utilization, and so on and so forth.
The geography department where he lectures is not just churning out theory-based students, but are making strides while still in school.
When you look at the university, because the way it was planned initially, The services are like identify where they're going to be putting the services, the school, the academic, institutional areas, the residential areas, then the service, they're really well conceptualized, unlike what you see when you get out there. So it's a unique community on its own, and you can virtually be here for days without touching or seeing outside the gate, because you have the water supply is there and it's well, planned in the sense of it. The electricity is there. We may be talking that the power supply in the country is erratic, but when you come to the university, for instance, because these things are planned more than what you see outside, you possibly don't even want to leave the shores of the university, because it's like a different country on its own. When you're here, maybe you don't stay here, you may not really appreciate it very well, but there are so many things that makes it a very unique environment. And the safety and security is there. So these are the things that makes a community. You can walk freely here. You can do that in many parts of Lagos, or you'll be in trouble. You can walk freely anytime you want to walk. Your lifestyle, nobody cares about, the level of sophistication of the society itself or the community itself is what you aspire. So it gives you a sense of freedom, a sense of liberation, sense to think, sense to be, more than when the chaotic scenario you see out there. So, and I think there's nothing stopping us as a nation to aspire to have communities that are really, well organized.
They are currently working on a mapping of the university community, which will enhance advanced planning for growth and development.
The University of Lagos has tried to maximize its location in cosmopolitan Lagos. We have the Uni-Hold, that's the University of Lagos Holdings, and the holdings manage some of the commercial aspects of the University of Lagos, almost as an independent body. The university guest houses, the pharmacy, the UNILAG press, and all of that. So these are run like proper business enterprises. So, and then we have a hub of students who are into applications. All right, and they meet regularly. They get some supervisory role from the director of the Center for Information Technology, and they innovate and they bring up new applications. One of the ones that is currently ongoing now is like a campus mapping system, that you come into the university campus and on your Android phone, you can try to locate where you are going to and stuff like that. So these are things that are coming up even from the students of the University of Lagos. They are doing very well.
Protecting the environment and getting the best out of it is a function of the way and manner we deal with it, living conservation areas where it applies, building rightly, and keeping it green and neat all contribute to a sane community. Indeed, to a large extent, the University of Lagos is a replica of such description. Communities must get less chaotic. It should be largely safe and should have a cordial interaction with its inhabitants. That's the much we can take on this week's edition of Community Report. Bye for now.